afternoon, everyone. So we are going to be continuing Troll Girl in Karron Heaven Fledgling Fairies special by Christine Karron, featuring Christine Karron. And I've been doing a sort of tutorial, colour along type thing on how I am doing a fantasy skin tone. And as you can see, this one we are doing green. So that's what we are doing. So we've got pretty much the base layers down at the moment, and so yeah, we're going to continue and see how much more we can get done. So I'm going to be going in with green grass, and I'm using Black Widow sets of pencils. So if we just zoom us in like so. And I want to start making her look more green rather than this kind of more of an olive tone she is currently. So I hope you are all doing okay. I've had a few comments saying that you know, this video, well, first part anyway, was quite helpful, so I'm really glad to hear that. And I hope, you know, this next part is useful for you as well. So I don't know about you, but I do sometimes get a little bored of doing, you know, your traditional skin tones, and sometimes you just want to mix it up. You know, you don't always want something to be completely realistic. Not quite sure what's gone on there. Some weird mark for some reason. Strange. But yeah, sometimes, you know, you don't want to go with a completely realistic skin tone. You want to do, you know, do things a little different. Mix things up a little bit. So I thought that, you know, this might be helpful for some of you. I imagine a lot of us probably have this book, well, magazine, I guess. And you might be wanting to kind of just experiment a little bit with various skin tones. I think I've got a couple of other ideas that I would like to do in this book as well. I'm not sure if I will be able to film them, because unfortunately at the moment the time I have to film isn't a huge amount. So I'm kind of just having to work around that a little bit. But when I can, I do. So I'm not adding too much of this, what one is it? Oops, sorry. Green grass. Just adding, you know, touches here and there. Yeah. kind of feeling this is a little bit, I've gone a little bit too dark with this colour. I was planning to go over all of the lighter areas, but yeah, I think this is too dark to do that with. So I'm just going to pop bits of it in the shadows a little bit. And then we will pick another colour to start going over our lighter areas to make them more green, so to say. So it is a beautiful day here today. It's really warm, sun shining, and yeah, it's just glorious. I've spent all day so far downstairs with Luna, doing some other work bits I've had to get done, and then we went out on a little walk. She is getting much braver, so that's really nice to see. Yeah, still gonna be a while before we kind of get to go anywhere, you know, far with her, but she's improving each day. That's, you know, it is just so nice to see that happening. What colour now? Here is my sharpener. I just had it. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. So just give this a quick sharpen and then continue. Oh, it broke. That's better. Okay, so sorry about that. Now we're going to go in with lime fruit and start putting this pretty much all over. So as we're doing any skin tone, skin colour, you want to do lots of layers. Lots and lots of layers. Be patient. You know, it does take time. And I mean, at the moment, we are definitely at an ugly stage. But the worst thing you can do when you get to the ugly stage is stop and think, oh, I've ruined it, this looks absolutely terrible. Pretty much everything will go through a stage where you look at it and you're like, I just really don't like it. Or at least I've found. So anyway, you just need to push through it, and you'll find that it starts to come right again, and it starts looking good after a bit. But pushing through that so-called ugly stage, yeah, can definitely be really difficult to do. Especially if you're quite new to colouring and art and things like that. Sorry, let's move up a little bit. yeah, it can be a little daunting. And I often find as well that I kind of get to a stage where it feels like I can't get any more colour on the page. However, I find that if I persevere and kind of, keep going, then all of a sudden it seems to accept colour a lot easier all of a sudden. It's kind of like it's just this like little wall you need to kind of climb over to continue. So yeah, I always say that, if you get to a point and you're kind of like, am I done? I think I might be done, but I don't know. Just keep going, like try for another half hour to an hour and just working on little things, and you'll be amazed at the difference it can make. I think I'm just going to zoom us out just a little bit. Okay, a little bit too close there. You don't really want to just see extreme close-ups of my hand, really. So yeah, we're just working our way. I'm now getting happier with the overall tone of her skin. It is now starting to look more green than it is like olivey greeny yellow type colour. So I am going to have to go back in with a darker green and darken my shadows back up again. I like quite a lot of contrast in my skin. Yeah, so I find if you've got, like, I don't know, say this is your base colour, but you want it to look brighter or lighter, but obviously, unless you erase or something like that, you can't really make it much lighter than it is. What you do is you make your darker areas a lot darker, so that the contrast between your lights and dark is more, and that kind of tricks us into thinking that the lighter areas are kind of lighter than they are. I'm not explaining that very well, but yeah. Okay, now let's go back to the face. Sorry if you can hear that noise. So that is Quilo, one of the Dagoos, drinking, and I don't know why, but whenever I film, they always seem to drink as loud as they possibly can. I mean, yeah, that's animals for you, isn't it? So yeah, now we're just going to go over the nose a little bit. And we're kind of going to start thinking about shaping it just a little bit. Not too much. You know, she's a troll girl. She's not really going to be wearing makeup, I don't think. But you just want to start kind of defining it a little bit more. So the tip of your nose is basically a sphere. You've basically got like 3 little balls, 1, 2, 3, and they do overlap a little bit. But you do basically want to shade them kind of like you would a ball. And the same tends to go for your lips as well. Your lips are like pillows. So you've got like 1 pillow there, 2, and 3. And you kind of want to shade those as kind of like a sphere, almost. I mean, not exactly, but that's probably the easiest way to explain it, I think. So under here is going to be a little bit more shaded. And kind of just define the chin just a little bit more. And then we're just going to go over it all again. Just to get that kind of base tone down. Okay, so now, what do I want now? I am going to use not that one. No, not that one. Sorry. Picking colours is very difficult sometimes. No. Okay. I'm going to go in with Forest. Now I'm going to give this a quick sharpen again. Sorry if I'm hitting the camera, by the way. Okay, so we're going to go in with Forest and start kind of redefining our shadows a little bit more. Because we have started to lose from just a little bit. Now I'm probably going to go in again a couple of times with, you know, even darker tones. You know, like I said, just to really make those shadows kind of pop. but we did most of the work earlier, you know, when we're kind of doing our first couple of layers of putting where our shadows were going to be. So it's pretty easy now to just kind of, you know, go over those areas again and just continue to darken them up nicely. Yeah. So, just going along. Trying not to get any really harsh lines. Yeah, you don't really want harsh lines, especially if you're doing kind of a diffused light. So we're just gonna very carefully, gently, just follow the, you know, that line of the nose up, and just shade it. Darken the corners of your eyes a little bit. Gonna start adding a little bit more to the lips. I don't know if you can tell, but I am just kind of putting those like little pillowy balls in. Just to kind of help give a little bit more of a 3D effect. No, I am definitely not the best at doing like, lips and eyes and things like that. I think I'm okay with skin. But yeah, other facial features, I'm not the most, you know, and I'm not the most confident with, so please do excuse me if I end up looking awful. So I was thinking of doing her with red hair, but I know, kind of thinking like, is that going to be a little bit too much? Like, I don't know, I don't want it to look like a Christmas tree, if you get what I mean. So I haven't quite decided what I will be doing with her hair yet. It's still going to be a little bit until we get to it anyway, so it's fine. There's no rush. So I would love to know if you're kind of colouring along with me, or if you're working on something else, or let me know what you're doing, or if you've just got me on rambling away in the background whilst you're doing anything else. Let me know. I'm pretty sure I am not the most exciting person out there. Yeah, I do tend to get a little bit stuck on what to say when I'm filming. So I apologize if I ramble and make no sense at all. It is something I am trying to work on, and I guess it will come with the more videos I do. So yeah, I hope I'm not just a huge annoyance to everyone at the moment. I think that is meant to be a little bit of skin there. Okay. So our shadows are now starting to pop out a little bit more. They're still not where I want them. But they're a little bit better. I always find it's really difficult shadowing under your lips, because if you're not careful, it does look like you have hairy lip, like a hairy under your lip kind of thing, and that's not quite what I want to go for. I mean, yeah, she is a troll, but she is an absolutely gorgeous troll. Yeah. So I don't think we really want to give her hairy lips and hairy under her lips and a hairy chin and stuff. And yeah, no, not quite what I want to do. But it can be difficult because you want a shadow under there, but getting the line between it being shadowed and being too shadowed, it's a tricky one. Now I'm gonna go with poison to sharpen that. So apparently I am awful at keeping my pencil sharp. I just realised I've still not touched her ears. I should probably get on them at some point. But I'll probably end up leaving them until the picture's nearly finished. I don't know, I just don't like doing ears. So now we're going to go in with Poison, which is a really light green. And just start kind of blending a little bit. So I do have different blender pencils and different burnisher pencils, which I want to try out. I thought they would be good for when I have an image pretty much where I want it, and I don't really want to alter the colour, but I still want, you know, to like burnish it. And I thought the burnisher pencils would be really good for that, because I can still burnish it, but I'm not going to be adding any more colour down onto the page. And the same pretty much goes with the blender ones, but you know, I want a nice smooth blend, but I've got the colours exactly how I want them, when I can just kind of use that instead. So yeah, I'm hoping to try those out and see what they do, I guess, and how they work. Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between the burnisher pencil and the blender pencil. Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I'm assuming they're both, you know, wax and oil. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look it up, I guess, and see what it says. I don't have the packaging anymore for them, so I can't really just go and look at that and see what it says. But I don't think it said, like, you know, what they're kind of made out of or anything. It's just that one is good for blending colour pencil and the other one is good for burnishing it. So now I feel like I need a bit more dark, so I'm going to try charcoal green and see how that goes. So yeah, this seems like a really nice shading, shadow colour kind of thing. like, you know, it's still green, but it has that a bit more depth to it, if you get what I mean. And I mean, you know, if you don't have a pencil like this, you can just take a grey and colour over your green with that grey. And it will do the same thing. Depending on whether the green you're using is more of a warm one or more of a cooler green, would depend on the grey you use, whether you use, you know, a warm grey, a cool grey, a blue grey, a French grey, you know, all those wonderful greys you can get. Yeah, but I don't tend to worry too much. I'll just grab one, pop a bit down, and see if I like how it looks. If I don't, then I'll pick up a different grey and go over the top, and just keep doing that until I get one that looks right. That's pretty much how I do most of my colouring, is I just kind of try things until, for me, it just looks, you know, looks like that's what it should be. And that can be really hard to try and describe. But, you know, the more you practice, the better you get at doing things like that. And then, of course, you don't have to follow, you know, so-called rules and stuff of colour theory. You know, you don't have to, but they're just kind of there as a guideline. Like, if you like how a blue-grey looks on top of an olive green, then go ahead and use it. Yeah, you know. It's your picture you're colouring. Do it however you want. I mean, yeah. If you want to do a human with rainbow skin, go ahead and do it. Just do what makes you happy, basically. Okay. So this, I think, is now starting to come along relatively well. Sorry, my book keeps falling down. I can never get this, like, sofa table type thing to be flat. So everything is always on a little bit of a slant, and it can be a little bit annoying sometimes. So, just kind of darkening these areas up a little bit. Now I am going to go for really dark bluey green, and I'm going to go for opal green. And then just use this to kind of continue, deepening our shadows. If you are worried about kind of, going darker and such, just do a little bit at a time. And this is a very different green to what I have been using. It's much more of a blue green. But as you can see, it works, it does what I want it to do. It's just fill in his nostrils a little bit. Yeah, it's doing what I want to do. It's creating some more depth, a bit more dimension. And then, if you just kind of stuck with the same, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna kind of shape the nose just a little bit more. And I'd say we're still going through an ugly stage. And we're not quite out the other side yet. So, just keep going. Just keep working until you are happy with how it looks. Now, for some of you, that might, be after an hour. After an hour, you look and be like, yeah, I like that. That's awesome. I love it. I'm pleased with how it looks. And some of you might look at it after 2-3 hours and still kind of think, yeah, but it's still not something quite right. And that is fine. Just keep on going until you're happy with it. Sometimes if you can't kind of place your finger on what it is you're a bit unhappy with, take a photo and then use filters. That your phone or your tablet or whatever you has on it, and adjust the photo you took a little bit and see if you can figure out oh yeah, that looks better. If you're like, okay, well, what did I do? Did I increase the contrast, in that filter or whatever? And then you go back to your image and you do that to your image. if that makes sense. I think I am just kind of rambling. But yeah, so if you boosted the contrast in it, then go back and boost your contrast. So make your lights lighter, your darks darker. Which is actually what I am going to be doing now. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to be going in with Black Widow, which is my black. Let's give it a sharpen. And I'm just going to go in just a couple of little places, just to kind of really darken up those shadows a bit. Okay, hopefully you can kind of see a little bit of a difference. I'm not going too mad. But just kind of sharpening and defining a few bits. Just kind of like that. I'm just going to sharpen these lines up just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm reasonably happy. However, I'm gonna go in with some mellow yellow and just go over some of our areas we kind of want highlighted a little bit more. So, kind of the bridge of your nose. And the tip. And kind of top of your cheekbones. And as you can see, it doesn't really change the colour much, but it does add that kind of a bit more of a pop to it. Okay. And then kind of across the centre of your forehead. And I'm putting this down quite heavy. So that I can't really go much darker with it. And trying to preserve these kind of light areas. Now, you can do this with a white, but I think a good bright yellow, just, I don't know, just looks a bit nicer. I'm not quite sure how to explain it. I just like, kind of prefer how it looks. Compared to just going over with white. I'd say it looks a little bit more natural, but there is nothing natural about this skin colour. So that should hopefully kind of be that. Now I want to go back over with a green. I think I'll go back in with my zombie. You want to do it really light now. And just kind of start just gently kind of bringing it all together. This might be a little bit too yellowy green. I may want to go in with the grass green a little bit. We'll see. So I don't know if I'm gonna do part 3 for this. Maybe I am kind of feeling like this video may be dragging on just a little bit, and I'm not quite yet happy with the skin. I mean, I'm getting there, but I've still got a bit more work to do, I think. So yeah, I'll probably end up coming back with a part 3 for this, and hopefully in that we'll be able to actually finish her skin. But I'm pleased so far with how she is coming on. Yeah. She is now definitely looking more green. But there's still more we can do. That is for sure. And especially down on the neck area, haven't done anywhere near as much work down there as I have on her face yet. So yeah, I think that will do for now, and we'll see how she progresses. But yeah, I think she's looking quite good. I do need to go back in again, I think, and redo my shadows, as I have lost them a little bit on the face. But yeah, so this is kind of where she is at the moment. I hope this was useful for someone and that it wasn't too long and boring. I apologise in advance because it feels like I've been filming for about 5 hours. So I dread to think how long this video is. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and really well done if you have reached to the end so far. And I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.